Hello everyone, myself Sushma Pujar, studying in B.Ed first sem in Keli Society's College of Education, Vidyanagar, Hubballi. Now I am presenting a seminar on barriers of communication under the guidance of Dr. Anil G. Gumgol sir. Let us start with the introduction. Man is a social animal. Social life is impossible without communication of ideas, feelings, and emotions among individuals. Means a meaningful communication is essential in the society. Life remains meaningless without communication. Many times, when proper communication is not occurring, it leads to misunderstanding and confusion. Proper communication between parents and children is very essential in order to lead a happy and peaceful life. In the same way, proper communication between teacher and the learner makes teaching learning process more effective. In a social setup, meaningful communication is essential. Life remains meaningless without proper communication. When proper communication does not occur at all levels of organization and management leads to misunderstanding and confusion, and at the same time it leads to quarrel and conflicts. Next, barriers to communication. Barriers to communication are things people say or do that are obstacles to good conversation or effective interpersonal interaction. They act as hurdles to satisfactory discussions. They produce a negative impact on the communication process. Let us see what are the effects of barriers on communication. Barriers are hindrances which are destructive when one or more persons are interacting. They tend to diminish the other's self esteem. They tend to trigger our defensiveness, resistance, and resentment. Barriers often lead to dependency, withdrawal, feelings of defeat, or of inadequacy. They act as feeling blockers and reduce the likelihood of finding a solution. They could ultimately lead to the soaring of relationships. And also, they could lead to increasing the emotional distance between the people communicating. Next one. Barriers to communication can be classified into the following types. First one is a physical barrier. Obstacles that prevents movement or the flow of message physically is called as physical barrier. For example, power off while working, unwanted sound while meeting, network down while mailing. These are the examples of physical barrier. Next, the major physical barriers are noise, time, place. Some of them are easy to alter, whereas some may prove to be tough obstacles in the process of effective communication. Next, the first one is noise. Noise is a physical barrier to effective communication. Noise may have its origin from an external source or may exist even in the communication loop. Means the noise is any type of disturbance that interferes and reduces the clarity. Noise acts as a distraction and withdrawal of attention. And noise is of four types. First one is physical noise, second one is psychological noise, third one is written noise, and fourth one is visual noise. Next one, time. Time has an important role in a communication process. Do we not often hear expressions such as timely caution, timely advice? These expressions indicate the role of time as a factor in communication. Yes, improper time also plays a major role in the effective communication. The best of communication done at an improper time man prove to be ineffective. Next one, place. The place or the location where a communication process take place can degenerate into a barrier to effective communication. Yes, the overall environment of the place wherein the communication is taking place has an effect. The atmosphere, cordiality, temperature, etc. have a profound effect on communication. Next one. Can you imagine yourself having a meeting in this room? This room would surely hinder the communication process. This room is too packed. Your mind would be focused on finding a comfortable space than listening to the message. This is a perfect example for the environment that plays a major role on effective communication. Next one, how to overcome physical barriers. First one is appropriate seating arrangement. Second one, ensure visibility and audioability. Third one, environmental comfort. Fourth one, minimize visual or oral distractions. Fourth one is appropriate medium. Means to overcome the physical barriers, the environment should be conducive to communication. Provision for proper seating arrangement should be made. One should proper audibility and visibility. Proper attention must be paid to keep the receivers in comfort. Next one. Second barrier is language barrier. Language barrier means inability to converse in a language that is known by both the sender and receiver is the greatest barrier to effective communication. Second one is when a person uses inappropriate words and jargons while conversing or writing, it could lead to misunderstanding between the sender and receiver. Next. First one is different languages. Second one, use of jargons. Third one is no clarity in speech. Fourth one is not being specific. Means language inadequacy. Sometimes there might exist a language barrier since both sender and receiver don't comprehend each other's language. Also, the sender may not be proficient in the language, making his message unclear. And the second point is unclear graphics and the symbols. During written communication, if the sender uses some symbols which are not commonly used, then the receiver gets a wrong picture. Internationally, there are some symbols and graphics. Any others, when used, may lead to improper understanding. What are the solutions to overcome the language barriers? Learn the language, hire an interpreter, carry a translating dictionary. Instead of trying to communicate with hand signs and offend them, research some different signs that mean something polite and respectful. Means the sender must use simple language and reduce verbalism. The new graphic symbols used must be explained. To reduce dependence on spoken words, visual aids must be put into use, and one should obtain feedback as frequently as possible. And also prepare handouts, recommend books, and use written communication whenever required. Next one is psychological barrier. Psychological barriers are psychological factors such as misperception, filtering, distrust, unhappy emotions, and people's state of mind can jeopardize the process of communication. Means in interpersonal communication, the psychological factors like interest, attention, motivation, concentration of both sender and receiver have an impact. No one can be forced to perceive what he does not want to. It could be lead to a situation wherein a person would physically present but mentally absent. Negative attitudes and prejudices mark one's participation. Positive emotion of love, compassion, and we feeling help in smooth flow of messages. Next, how to overcome psychological barrier. First point is efforts to motivate, sustain interest, and provide rewarding experiences must be made. Second one, guidance and counseling to remove prejudices and ill feelings must be undertaken. Third one is one must provide assistance, show sympathy, and deal patiently. Fourth one, to increase perception, audio visual aids can be used. Next. And the fourth barrier is organizational barriers. Unclear planning, structure, information overload, timing, technology, and status difference are the organizational factors that may act as barriers to communication. First one is rules and regulations. Strict enforcement of rules, discipline may create an atmosphere wherein communication becomes formal and rigid. Second one is hierarchical relationship and lack of cooperation. If there is a gap in the hierarchical positions, the communication would be affected. Third one is choice of media. Third one is choice of media. Such messages may require personal communication and yet others may require use of audiovisual aids. Hence, choice of media has a substantial influence on communication. Fourth one is group size. The type of communication to be used depends on the group size. A communicator cannot think of the receiver as a single mass. Each student is different from the other, and the individual differences have an impact on communication. Next one, how to overcome organizational barrier. For organizational barrier, simple organizational structure must be used, avoiding information overload and flexibility in meeting targets. Means efforts must be made to develop a healthy conductive atmosphere among the communicators and between communicator and receiver. And depending on group size, appropriate media needs to be employed to reach out to all. The conclusion is communication is the ability to transmit thoughts and ideas to others. Communication is all pervading and an omnipresent aspect of living beings. It can be said that communication is the only saving grace of person. There are many barriers to communication and these may occur at any stage in the communication process. The skills of effective listening, clarification, and reflection may help, but the skilled communicator also need to be aware of the barriers to effective communication and how to avoid or overcome them. Therefore, proper communication between parent and teacher, teacher and student, manager and subordinates is very much essential to lead happy, peaceful, prosperous life. Thank you.